Well, hello everybody, it's me, your boy, and welcome to the Survivalists. It's a new survival sandbox game made by Team 17, and if you know who they are, they're the studio behind the illustrious Escapist universe. Now, I have not seen this game get much coverage or traction, despite it being a part of the Steam Game Festival, which is a personal travesty because I have already sunk about 8 hours into this game, and I've completed the demo, and let me tell you, it was an 8 hours well spent. However, this game and its tutorials are a bit vague on instructions, so I hope some guidance will be useful to those with the current build, and I hope to cover future builds as well, and of course, I will be covering the game when it does come out, because I am just absolutely in love with the Escapist art style and Team 17 in general. So without further ado, let's get to the video. So first things first, we're going to do the call monkey button. So as soon as you press the button, you'll call your nearby monkeys. The game right now has a total of 8 for the demo, so they should all be around you just like this once you have all of them. So the easiest thing you're going to want to be doing is gathering, of course. You can gather yourself, but it's way less efficient than having your monkeys do it. So just call the monkeys, and by holding down any of the 3 buttons, follow, throw, or mimic, or actually cancel for the 4th one, you can expand your cursor so you can select all your monkeys. So there you go. And then, while they have this little monkey timer on, they just have to watch you do any sort of task and they will complete it. So I want them to gather or harvest. So just hit any tree, rock, and then they will start to harvest for you. Now, the reason why these ones have little question marks on them is because they do not have the right tool equipped to do any harvesting. This one has a bat. They will use any weapon to gather, but these ones either have no weapon or a multi-tool. However, if I hover over them, have the item equipped, and press throw, which is X, I can give them a weapon, and then they can go to town. Rinse and repeat, and there you go. You can have your whole monkey army harvesting for you. On to the second most important thing you want to be doing with your monkeys is gathering. So of course you can sit here and pick up each and every one of these logs, but when you're doing harvesting and gathering in tandem with your monkeys, it's going to be so much easier for you guys. So basically, call your monkeys, start the mimic timer, and they need to see you pick up at least 1 item off the floor. I do a couple just in case, and bring them to any nearby chest, and you have to show them, hey, this is the chest I want you to deposit these items into, and they'll go to town. Also, quick note, if they're holding anything at the time of depositing and gathering, they will put that item into the chest. So you see these multi-tools, these bats, these axes, they will put their own tool into there. So just be wary of that in case you have a tool that you're looking for. On top of that too, as soon as they're done, they're going to have these question marks above them. That means that, hey, I've finished up all my work you gave me. What next? Now, you can actually pick this up and move it a little bit away, and they'll continue if there's anything in vicinity. And also be careful of animals. They can snipe your monkeys. Your monkeys will not fight back unless you tell them to. So make sure they're following you pretty close. Also, you cannot give commands while you're holding a chest. So if this happens, drop it, cancel their order, and have them follow you. And now you can pick this up. Don't forget, on long travels, you can always give your monkey your chest to carry, and you can head out for your next expedition. Also, what you can do is, you see what they're doing here? They're working in tandem. You can have 2 or 3 monkeys harvest and 2 or 3 monkeys gather. So while these are destroying, these are picking them up and putting them back in your chest. Also, real quick, make sure you get this treasure chest. It's from the shopkeep. It's the biggest chest you can possibly have right now, and it comes with you on multiplayer. Make sure you grab this as soon as you can. Hunting and fighting are pretty much the same as well. Set up the call, mimic, and as long as they see you attack something, they will follow your lead. So there they go. Now with a full team, they just completely obliterate anything that stands in your way. And now while they have this sword with the question mark, it means they're basically looking for a fight for you. So if y'all ever played Pikmin, just kind of run them into the general direction of enemies and they'll just take care of everything for you. Alright, and finally comes cooking and crafting and building, basically. They're all under the same umbrella. So basically what you want to do is make sure that your monkey that you're going to be using has a multi-tool. I'm actually going to be using my trusty Cinder and Nikki. So these guys are going to be following me. So they can set up pretty much anything that you can do. Anything that you can do, your monkeys can too. So let's add some fire. And let's get some food cooking. Let's say you want to cook some meat chunks, right? Have your multi-tool equipped. Set the 2 monkeys that you want into mimic. Start the mimic timer. Choose your recipe. For instance, we're going to do this one. Add the ingredients. Now what you can do is you can start the craft and then immediately back out. And they will go ahead and complete it for you. And this is what they will be, I refer to as like idle craft mode. So as soon as you add more, one of them will come by and continue to cook for you. Now, I'll show you the next step where it gets a little more complicated, but this is where the monkey system really kicks in. Also, fun fact, if your monkeys kind of get in the way, if you have a shorter base or they're in the way, what you can do is start the mimic timer, and then you can actually go into your gestures and just have them sit down. And they'll all wait for you in one convenient monkey pile. This saves up a lot of clutter and time for you. Alright, this is where things start to get a little complicated. So as you can tell, we have a mass production going on. We just got to get started. So you're going to take any of your crafting monkeys. Let's do 3 of them right now. Start the mimic timer. Select a recipe. Add the ingredients. Make sure you got your tool on. And then start it. Now, one of the 3 of them will finish it for you. All you gotta do is select another recipe. You could even do the same one. Add the recipe. Add the ingredients. And just like that, they'll get to work. But as you've noticed, you have to keep adding. Again, and again, and again. Now, this does take a while and it is tedious. So there is a simpler way. Let's get to that part. Now what we're going to be doing is using the gathering command for the other monkeys that are not doing anything. So these ones that do not have the icon above them, what we want to do is give them the mimic command, start the timer. And then just like the regular gathering, you want to be picking these up and depositing them into the chest. Now what these guys are going to do is pick up any reagents that are dropped on the floor. And if you notice, we got 2 more monkeys left. You can do this with any amount of monkeys. You don't have to have all 8. Okay, and for this part, what you want to do is take your remaining monkeys, start the mimic timer, and then show them that you're taking something out of the chest mostly the reagents, and you're adding them to the workbench. And then they'll immediately get to work, providing that the reagents are actually in the chest. So if you put these back in, now they'll notice, they'll get the reagents on the bench, and then now you got a whole conveyor belt going on. And on top of that, they'll pick up the finished product and put them also into the chest. And there you go. Also, one quick reminder, your monkeys do not need to eat, they do not need to sleep, and they do not have happiness meters. So the monkey meals that you craft are for monkeys out on the field, but hopefully you can in the next one, because we sure do owe these guys a lot of bananas and treats and whatnot. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.